Hey, and welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show as we're on our journey. By the way, we're almost at 200,000, so thank you. And if you like what's going on, which obviously you do, hit the subscribe button. Now, I want to talk about Trump being in Washington, D.C. yesterday. And I want to show you some clips. This is absolutely vile, nauseating, shows exactly who this man is, the chameleon. So first, he speaks about beautiful women, claiming that he has said much worse things before. Here, play that clip.
A spectacular woman, a beautiful woman. I'm not allowed to say that anymore because, it usually puts you out of politics, but I've said much worse than that. But she's a beautiful woman. And
I mean, what is funny about that? Again, it goes right to the nature, right to the core of who he is, which is a sexist and misogynist. And yet these people who are sitting there in the audience are laughing at this because he said much worse things before. Congratulations, Donald. We're all insanely impressed that you've said much worse things before. And where was he at, by the way, when he's making these disparaging comments? He is at the Israeli-American Council Conference. So of course, what next? He has to talk about Jews and Israel. I mean, which, by the way, he once again keeps promoting these anti-Semitic tropes again and again and again. And I want to show you what he says about Jews, what he's saying about Israel, how he's helped Israel. Play the clip.
with all I have done for Israel, I received only 24% of the vote. But I understood that. That was in 2016. And, it's one of those things. I thought I'd do much better. I happen to have a Jewish daughter. I have a Jewish son-in-law. I have 3 Jewish grandchildren. I thought I'd do much better. But I only got 24%.
Yeah, you got 24% because everything that you say is bullshit. The fact that Ivanka ended up converting to marry Kushner means that what? All of a sudden you have some newfound love for Israel or the Jewish people? How does any of that make any sense at all? It's almost like saying, well, how can I be racist if I have a black employee? I mean, is that what you think as well, Donald? Do you not understand the stereotype, the trope that you are perpetuating with this insane speech that you're giving? And you're giving it again at the Israeli-American Council Conference, for God's sakes. I mean, then you go on, because it's not like you haven't put your foot up your ass and then in your mouth. How many goddamn times before? You then go ahead and you say that if you lose the election, who are you going to blame? Why not? I mean, you blamed everybody else. How about just blame the Jews? Play that clip.
If I don't win this election, and the Jewish people would really have a lot to do with that if that happens, because at 40%, that means 60% of the people are voting for the enemy.
I have no idea what that 40% of what? Do you understand, Donald? Which of course you don't, because you don't read, you don't know. Jews make up less than 2% of the United States population. I mean, we're like what, 10, 11 million in total compared to 370 million Americans. Do you understand the numbers that you're talking about? Nobody knows what you're talking about. And yet there they are, sitting there and applauding this schmuck again and again and again as he's sitting there. Blame the Jews. Well, I don't know. I thought that you were blaming the Haitians. I thought you were blaming the migrants. I thought you were blaming Mexicans, right? I thought you were blaming blacks. I thought you were blaming women. I mean, you seem to have a lot of blame to go around. Maybe you should look in the mirror, because what's reflecting back at you, that's who you're supposed to be blaming. You're losing, and you will lose this election because you are the inferior candidate. That's just factual. You are the inferior candidate. And then what do? You use this ongoing fear-mongering again and again and again. I mean, to turn around to say stupid shit like, Israel will no longer cease to exist if Kamala Harris becomes president of the United States. You say that Israel has to defeat Kamala. Israel has to defeat Kamala. Play the clip.
Now we're going to defeat Kamala Harris. You have to defeat Kamala Harris. More than any other people on earth, Israel, I believe, has to defeat her. You know that? And I've never said this before. I'm thinking, Miriam, more than any people on earth, Israel has to defeat her. I really believe that it's a disaster for Israel. And you know why, and you've heard her statements. We're going.
Why? Why? You've heard her say things, and he's talking, of course, to Miriam Adelson, the wife of now deceased mega billionaire Sheldon Adelson. And Miriam Adelson and Sheldon Adelson were adamant, especially during the Trump administration, that the embassy be moved from Jerusalem to Tel Aviv. They were adamant to, in fact, that they put so much money behind it. All of that entire movement, all you're really doing is moving a building. You're not moving an ideology. You're not moving a belief. You're not moving anything other than an embassy. But for whatever the reason is, that's what Sheldon Adelson, the mega billionaire, wanted before he passed on. And they made it happen. You know why they made it happen? With Geld. Geld in Yiddish means money. Why do I bring that up? Because Donald Trump is transactional. Plain and simple. Everything will be for sale under Donald Trump. But yet he goes on and he talks about Kamala Harris is going to be bad for Israel. I don't know. It was not too long ago where, like at the debate, where she said, I want to be crystal clear. Israel has an absolute right to defend itself, and that she is committed to Israel. I mean, that sounded pretty straightforward to me. There's no mixing of words. Does she want to see a two-state solution? Does she want to see an end to this war between Israel and Palestine and Hamas? Absolutely. Absolutely. But only Trump is making this seem as if though Israel will cease to exist if Kamala Harris becomes president of the United States. But again, nothing to back it up. Just merely more Trump lies, more Trump bullshit, more Trump fear-mongering. That's what he does without even realizing how dangerous his words are and how it empowers his true MAGA base of neo-Nazis. That's the thing that Jews, that's the thing that all Americans need to keep in the back of their mind. So lastly, you can't end up at any of these rallies, gatherings, whatever the hell you want to call them, these wastes of time. He, of course, has to circle back to his favorite topic. And what is his favorite topic? The debate. Why? I don't know. But every single scenario where Trump is speaking, whether it's on television, to Newsmax, to Fox, to OAN, whether he's talking at a rally, he's talking at some gathering like this, right back to the debate. Play that clip.
I only have one regret, that I wanted to be elegant and I didn't want to attack the anchors, which would have been very easy to do. So I didn't attack them, but I should have attacked them because it was 3-on-1. It's like a basketball game, 3-on-1. It's very hard. But we did well.
And again, applause from this idiotic crowd. We did well. He should attack the moderators. Why? Because they were fact-checking him and calling out his lies in real time. It wasn't a 3-on-1. It was a 1-on-1, which he lost, and lost decisively. The fact that the moderators did what they were supposed to do. They asked him questions that are relevant to the political landscape. And when he lied, they called him out on the lie and asked him for clarification, which of course he could not do. My friends, it's why I'm going to end this episode as I do all. If these clips are not demonstrating to you the significance of this upcoming election in November, the importance to ensure that you are fully registered to vote. Go to vote.org. Make sure that you are in the system, that you are registered to vote, and make sure on election day that you head down to the ballot box and make sure that you put in your vote for the only sensible team to take us into the next 4 and 8 and then so on and so forth. And that, of course, is Harris Walls in 2024. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.